What up, guys? The Bench Buddies are back with our Week 14 NFL Power Rankings. But before I get into it, make sure you hit that subscribe button to enter our giveaway at 200 subscribers, where I'll be giving an autographed, possibly jersey, some cards, who knows, you name it. But all you have to do is hit that subscribe button to be entered into it. So let's jump into our rankings here. 32, we got Houston coming off an ugly loss where the Browns offense didn't score a touchdown, but disappointments for the Houston Texan offense. They struggled a lot. Nico Collins has emerged pretty much as the clear-cut wide receiver one. And now they go to Dallas, who is on fire. So expect another loss and another last place ranking. 31, I have the Rams. Tough loss to Seattle as they pull off the 2-minute drill to get the win. Cam Akers had a great day. Good to see him back and playing good. Then John Wolford, I guess the best he could do. I don't know. He struggled a little bit. But now they get the Raiders, who are on fire as well. And it should be another loss for those Rams. 30, we got the Bears. And this one, they had the game, but Rodgers still owns them. As the offense disappeared in the fourth, the defense gave up 18 and blew that 10-point lead. And if this Bears team would have showed signs of life in the fourth quarter, I think this would have been maybe a win for the Bears. And I'm a Packers fan. I think realistically they could have got it done. But Fields threw two costly picks, and it cost them in the end. 29, I have the Colts getting absolutely mollywopped on Sunday Night Football. Give up 33 points in the fourth quarter, 5 total turnovers. I mean, it's a disaster here in Indy. Jeff Saturday won the first game against the Raiders, and since then it's been a struggle. 28, the Panthers are coming off a bye, going to Seattle. They released Baker, so pretty much that solidifies Darnold as the QB1 for the rest of the year. Could Foreman be a good running back to build around for next year? DJ Moore trade in the offseason. So this team's already looking forward to next year, as they still have a good amount of games left. The Broncos moving up too, but that is in part to them almost winning, and it seems like they're in every game because of their defense, and that's true. They only give up 10 points. The offense couldn't get anything going. Russell Wilson's struggling, but Greg Dulcich has looked good. He's pretty much looked like the number one receiver, I guess you could say, or one of the top options for Russell Wilson as he continues to grow. 26, you got the Jaguars moving back one after a blowout loss to the Lions, which was very surprising. They didn't force a Lions punt, and it's their 20th straight loss to an NFC team, which is a mind-boggling stat. They played decent, but just couldn't slow down that Lions offense, as the Lions are a hot team. Now they go to Houston, or now they go to Tennessee, where they have to try and stop Derrick Henry. 25, I have the Saints moving up to, even though they lost to the Bucs last night on Monday Night Football. They blew that 13-point lead with 5 minutes left. They had this one in the bag, but the defense just squandered it away. And I think if you look back at this game, it's more or less just because they couldn't get in the end zone. They settled for 3 field goals. And, that cost you in the end of the game. If you change that for 1 touchdown, more than likely they win this game. Kamara got bottled up. I think it was 38 total yards with 15 total touches. But Dalton had a decent game, decent showing from him, but just didn't do enough to get the win. 24, the Falcons moving back 4 spots after a close loss to the Steelers. They go into a bye at 5-8, and they still have a shot at the NFC South. The Bucs are 6-6 right now. Falcons obviously 5-8. They need a Bucs loss this week to really stay in it. Somehow, some way, this Falcons team plays close games, and they just can't find a way to win. We saw last week the Commanders, this week the Steelers. So if they flip that around, you're looking at the 7-6 team here winning the NFC South. 23, the Browns are moving up after the win over the Texans in Houston. Obviously, Deshaun Watson was back, but you didn't even notice that he was there. Really struggled, but that's obviously expected. It's his first game back in almost 2 years. Nick Chubb had a good day, and you can really thank the defense for winning this game. 2 defensive touchdowns, punt return touchdown. It's going to be a tougher test this week going against the Bengals, who just beat the Chiefs. And if they want to win that game, they are going to have Watson have a good game. 22, the Cardinals are moving back 4 spots after a bye week. Yes, I know that they didn't even play, but you're thinking, why are they so low? It's because there's lots of question marks surrounding this team. Could Kyler leave in the offseason? Kingsbury, is he going to get fired? I mean, it's kind of a dumpster fire here in Arizona. And if they lose this game against the Patriots, then probably expect some changes to happen here within the next few weeks. 21, the Steelers are moving up 1 spot after a close win in Atlanta. This was a very big win for them, as their playoff hopes are still alive. They go to face the Ravens at home this week. So If they can get that win, move to 6-7. Obviously, Lamar is probably not going to play. Then the Steelers could make a late push here for the playoffs, but they got to get Pickens more involved as he was very frustrated after this game, only having one catch for 2 yards. 20, I'm moving the Raiders up for with a big win over the Chargers at home. This team has won 3 in a row. Now they go face the Rams to probably make it 4 in a row. Josh Jacobs is having a spectacular season, leading the league in rushing yards. Devontae's coming on. And Derek Carr is still not getting enough credit in the league and probably a top 15 quarterback, in my opinion, in the league, but people treat him as he's a bottom 15. So with that being said, expect these Raiders to move up again next week. 19, I have my Packers moving up 2 spots with a big come from behind win over the Bears. Rodgers still owns them. He's 24-5 all time. They had 3 fourth quarter scoring drives to pretty much complete the comeback and limit the Bears. They didn't score at all in the fourth quarter, but the big storyline for them is Christian Watson, what he's been doing in his last 4 games. 8 touchdowns is unheard of. I think it's a rookie record. Aaron Rodgers, putting this team in a position to win almost every week, and they're going to have to come out of the bye, pretty much win out, have a good, strong bye. I think it's a great time for a bye for these Packers to get healthy, especially Rodgers and his rib and his thumb. 18, the Chargers are moving down 2. Tough loss to the Raiders in Vegas. But their big thing is, are they actually going to take a step forward? They had some big offseason moves to put people up. Come on, they could have done it this year. I had them at 1, preseason number 1. I thought this team was going to be legit, but they just don't look like it. I know Keenan Allen and Mike Williams and lots of lingering injuries for this team have really cost them. But if they get Mike Williams back fully healthy, and Keenan Allen obviously has looked very healthy, it's going to be pivotal for them, and I think they can make a stretch. But it is going to be a very tough game for them this week against the Dolphins. 17, I have the Detroit Lions. Yes, 17, their highest ranking to date, with a big statement win over the Jaguars at home. And the positive sign for them, they got Jameson Williams, but he didn't do anything, it felt like, on the field. I posted a goose egg for the wide receiver standpoint, but he showed his speed, what he can, how he can beat coverage and whatnot. I think he will be an interesting piece if they want to get this win this week against the Vikings at home. Biggest game of the year this week for the Lions. 16, the Patriots are moving back 3 after a tough loss on Thursday Night Football to the Bills. Frustration was shown by Mac Jones. They pretty much are almost out of the AFC East, it feels like at this point, with Dolphins, Jets, and the Bills above them. But if they want to get back in it, it's going to have to come on Mac Jones and Ramondre Stevenson. If they can get those guys going, obviously Mac Jones, if he can throw for 2 touchdowns, they put him in a good position to win. But they get a very favorable matchup against the Cardinals this week. 15, I have the Bucs. After their come behind win, Brady, can't count out Brady. He had a good game. Chris Godwin looks like he's solidifying himself as wide receiver 1 right now, with him being fully healthy. And the defense limited the Saints to 3 field goals instead of touchdowns, and that's why it's a bend don't break defense. But they get the Niners in San Francisco with Brock Purdy at the helm. 14, you have the Jets with a tough loss in Minnesota. They just couldn't punch it in. They had 4 straight drives with field goals, couldn't score a touchdown twice late, and they're almost there. They're just almost there. But now it's probably the biggest test of the week. If they want to stay in the AFC East hunt, they got to go into Buffalo and beat them. 13, the Giants move up 2 after tying the Commanders. Now they get the Eagles this week in a very tough matchup at home. But they're 1-3-1 in their last 5, and that's very concerning. So for me, they're becoming a fraudulent team. I know that I moved them up here, but if they get blown out by the Eagles, then they're moving way past that 15 ranking and probably going down closer to 20. So the Giants, it's a big week for them this week. In 12, I have those Commanders. Now they go into a bye week at 7-5-1. They only 1 loss in the last 8 games, unbeaten their last 4. And they play the Giants again after the bye week. And I think they really will take it to them at home this time. Terry McLaurin has looked great this year. Brian Robinson as well. And Heineke is the man moving forward. And I think they need to make him the franchise QB as well. 11, we have the Titans dropping out of the top 10. Tough loss to Philly, get blown out, essentially. Derrick Henry didn't do anything. Jalen Hurts went off, and Ryan Tannehill struggled. So they need a rebound, and what better way to face the Jaguars this week at home? Starting the top 10, I have the Ravens staying put. And I really wanted to move him up, but I just couldn't because Lamar is out. And he's out days to weeks. I think he is probably going to be out for this one, but possibly the next week. So week 15, he might be back. But they got Tyler Huntley. He did fairly good. I mean, only 5 incompletions with one being an interception. So now with a full game plan around him, I expect him to have a better game. And it's going to be a tough matchup for the Steelers as well. At 9, I have the Seattle Seahawks jumping into the top 10 with a big win over the Rams with the 2-minute drill working to perfection. The only question mark for them is who's going to play running back this week? Is it going to be DJ Dallas? Is it going to be Kenneth Walker? Is it going to be the guy Jones after he left with a hard hit? Question marks all around that running back room right now. So expect them probably to sign someone from a practice squad. But it really won't matter at the end of the day because they're going against the Panthers, let's be honest. Tyler Lockett and Metcalf should have another good showing from them. Same with Geno. Expect the Seahawks to get it done, even if they don't have a ground game. 8, the Dolphins are moving back. And this is just in part to the offense kind of sputtering it out after the 75-yard touchdown to start the game. Brock Purdy got the best of them. Tyreek Hill had a great game, but Tua really struggled in this one. It really didn't seem like it was Tua. It seemed like old Tua here. I think they should rebound nice, hopefully, against the Chargers. This Dolphins team, there are some concerns there. I know they did add to the defense. If they can't hang with these teams and really grit it out till the end, then there's some big concern there. At 7, I have those 49ers staying put just because Jimmy G went down and he's out for the year. So it's going to be Brock Purdy's show from here on out. Possibly Baker Mayfield has been linked, obviously, that the Panthers released him, but who knows with that. And they're on a 5-game winning streak. And now they face the Bucs at home in which should be a great matchup. 2 great defenses are going to go against each other, so expect a low-scoring matchup. But I expect Christian McCaffrey to go off like he did this week against the Dolphins. 6, I have the Vikings staying put as well with their close win over the Jets. In my opinion, they really should have came in and lost this game probably by at least 2 possessions, but you got to thank the defense in this one, not the offense. Defense had 2 goal line stands late in the fourth, forced 2 interceptions, and forced 4 straight field goals instead of touchdowns as well. So a bend don't break defense. Look no further at the Vikings this week. But now they go to Detroit in the biggest game for both of these teams, because if they win the NFC North, and obviously if they lose, then the Lions still have a shot, but realistically, it probably won't happen. We need to see how that will go with the Vikings. I think they should take care of business, but hey, you never know. The Lions are playing some teams tough. Starting the top 5, I have the Bengals jumping in with the win over the Chiefs at home. They own the Chiefs, it feels like right now, and they're 3-0 in the last year against them. So you got to give respect here to the Bengals. They're doing something a lot of teams other can't by beating Mahomes. They held KC scoreless in the fourth quarter as well. It's really ignited their win here. But Samaje Perine could be a starter on probably 20 out of the 32 teams in this league, as he is a great backup running back, probably the best backup running back right now in the league. And Burrow obviously had a great game as well. So expect this team to keep it going against the Browns this week. And at 4, I have those Chiefs. Just couldn't put them behind the Bengals yet because it was a close loss in Cincinnati. If they would have lost at home, more than likely I would have had the Bengals ahead of them. But they should rebound this week against the Broncos in Denver. The defense is good, but is it good enough to stop Mahomes? I don't think so. So expect the Chiefs to have a probably 30 plus, maybe 40 points scoring game. At 3, we have the Cowboys absolutely dominating. Yes, dominating the Colts. 33 points in the fourth quarter is the most in franchise history. Forced 5 turnovers, defensive touchdowns. Zeke and Pollard look great together. Prescott didn't even have to really show out. He did, I guess, with 3 passing touchdowns, but nothing too spectacular. This Cowboys team is rolling. And OBJ, he might be signing here today, tomorrow, soon. It's very likely he will sign here. And do they even need him? That's the big question. But regarding that, they get the Texans this week in what should be probably another blowout. At 2, the Bills are moving up once after the Patriots win on Thursday Night Football. And now they have the Jets at home in a very big AFC East matchup yet again. They had 132 rushing yards on the ground, the Bills did, against the Patriots, which is pretty impressive. Stephon Diggs had a decent game. Josh Allen did very good because he didn't throw a pick. And if he can limit his interceptions and turnovers, then the Bills really have a better chance of winning the games. Obviously, it's clear cut, but it seems like Allen puts the Bills in positions where it should be closer than it is, and that's really because of his turnovers. And at 1, of course, I have the Eagles back here for the 7th time this year, demolished the Titans. They held the Titans scoreless in the second half. Derrick Henry only had 38 total yards. A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith, 221 yards and 3 touchdowns together. Jalen Hurts obviously had an excellent day as well. So this Eagles defense, offense, special teams, whatever, is on fire. 11-1, obviously the team that I saw probably winning the division, but not this good. Now they travel to New York for an NFC East matchup in which the Giants really need a win. So they'll be giving them their best game. And that's going to be it for the video today. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button down below. Get that to 100. You might be entered in that giveaway. You might win something. So until the next time, the Pinch Buddies are out.